It's that time where people come up with their end of year videos, but I thought we'd do something a little bit different to keep you entertained. And I want to take you behind the scenes of some of the data that we get supplied to us by YouTube of what happens to our videos, how people find them, etc, etc. And so I can take you through the journey of 2024 using those numbers and chat about some of the videos that we did along the way and maybe how they came about. So join us for a quick look back. Right, I'm afraid there's a lot of numbers with this, so I am going to have to refer to my bit of paper as we go along. But basically, we entered 2024 with around about 2,500 subscribers, and by the year end, we are up to just on 14,000, literally ticked over in the last day or so. So massive thank you to everyone that's clicked that button. It's really appreciated. Interestingly, we do get the data from YouTube to tell us which videos give us the most subs, and the midget one is, or our original midget one where I bought the car at auction, that gave us 774 subs. Now, that was a real case of making lemonade from lemons, because I really genuinely did buy that car on the spur of the moment, and it did genuinely break down on the way home, so it just made a good video. So just because it breaks down doesn't mean that it's all gone wrong. So bit of a tip there for you. The other video that gave us a lot of subs was the 40RA interview. Richard was brilliant on that one, and there was a lot of work in the background to get that to come together, and that gave us 570 subs. And that one really came from my original search into the car, which I released I think Christmas Eve 2023, and it was the first time anyone had actually done a sensible story on the car. It wasn't in a barn or anything else, it had been dumped in the canal and scrapped. So just if you do the story right, you'd never know what might come from it. So next up, views. Well, there's two levels on views. On total views for the last 365 days, 2,278,543, which, to be honest, I find just absolutely mind-boggling. There's 927% over the previous year. And it also gives us something called impressions. Now, impression is when you're scrolling through your phone or on your PC or whatever, and our video comes across it, but you don't click on it. And we have had 36.4 million impressions as people have scrolled by. Now, for the ones out there with a calculator, that means that 4.2% have clicked on the video as it's gone by, which is a not untypical click rate unless you're Matt Armstrong. Now, the other thing is, views-wise, which videos were tops? Well, our top video 2024 was our walk around at the Malvern Kit Car Show. That has done 124,500 videos, and one of the things that's helped that up to the top has been the fact that it was picked up quite a lot in America. And the other thing is, I think myself and Steve Holt, we've known each other donkey years, 20 plus years, possibly nearly 25, and we were wandering around chatting, and I think it came across just so natural. We chatted the week before, only by messenger. Would you fancy doing it? Yeah. And literally there was no script to it, we just wandered around, and I think that came across in the video. So sometimes the simple ones work. The other videos that have done good views, again, it's that first midget video, that's done 119,000. And the other one is the last auction video we did from Southwest Vehicle Auctions, which is my sort of budget bangers and cash kind of video format. That's done 115,600. Now, the interesting thing behind that, a lot of people ask my advice, or a few ask my advice on YouTube, and I think the interesting thing with that is we started off at Charterhouse, and we will still go back to Charterhouse because it's a good location. But the original videos we did, if you really want to laugh, scroll back in the content, you will find some horrendous early videos on there with crap audio and, to be honest, badly edited, badly put together. But it was a learning curve, and I did really believe there was something in there if I could get it right. So, you know, maybe your first version's not great, but keep plugging away at it, you never know. And the last one on views, 1st of January last year, we released a video on Spender, And basically we thought YouTube had gone wrong because it gave us 8,000 views in the first hour, which was way beyond anything we'd actually done to that point. Turned out it was right. It was just the right video on the right day of the year, and it worked really well. Must admit, I thought we'd arrived then, but turned out we hadn't really. But hey, it's been a good year. Now the next data they give us is watch time. Now this is how many hours of our videos cumulatively people have watched over the year. And this is quite an amazing 197,011 hours. Don't know how long that is in years, but probably quite a long time. Somebody I'm sure will work it out and put it in the comments. And the biggest one again is the Malvern Kit Car Show one. And then the next ones, interestingly, are all the auction videos we did, whether it's SWVA or it's Charterhouse. And it's again that they're a longer format, so they will tend to achieve more watch time hours. Now, how have people found these videos? And I know we all chunt on about subscribers, and it does all help, but by the biggest way that people found our videos was by the browse features. Just scrolling through, video comes up, you've watched the channel before, you've watched something similar before, the algorithm will prompt you with it. And that has contributed to 1.7 million of the views has been down to people scrolling. The next one along is suggested videos, which is basically at the end. And 69,300 have been down to a search, people searching wheeler dealers or auctions, classic car auctions, anything like that. Now, of all these videos, who watches them? Well, we've got an age demographic, so it shows you, basically people from age 25 up, which you would probably expect. The biggest peak is between 55 to 64, which is 31.4%. And funnily enough, that's where my age band is as well. And as Jason, who helps me out with the channel, says, people are just reflecting what you come up with. So that does sort of make sense. Gender-wise, not a surprise, 94.2% male, 5.7% female, and 0.1% other. But where are the viewers? And this is the one that always surprises me, because I think my content primarily being UK, with things like the TV programmes, the car auctions, but it's got a much wider spread than that. And over the last year, 70% or 70.7 was in the UK, 6.4% USA. Again, that's down to some particular videos. The midget videos was very good. I think 40RA did very well in America. And also the one I did on the Bond Esprit, that one picked up very well in America as well. Australia was good as well. That's 5.3%. You can see it all jotting down the different countries there, down to 0.8% viewed in Sweden, which, I don't know where I rank next to ABBA, but, I'm doing me bit. And the next bit, back to that subscriber thing. And if you haven't clicked it, please do. It's down there, you know where it is. And this is why people scream so much for subscribers, that 89.7% of the views we've had have been by people who are not subscribed. So only 10.3% are subscribers. So I always find that quite amazing, because if you get that volume, you would think you'd have a bigger percentage of subscribers, but hey, you don't. How do people watch it? And again, this is another one that always surprises me. 18% watch it with the subtitles on. Now, whether that's because they're listening to it while, their partner's talking to them or something like that, I don't know. But, or the telly's on, or maybe something else. But that one always surprises me. So on to other bits and pieces, projects, and I'm sitting on one of them. The bike I found that was the one I bought when I was 17. That one stalled a little bit, mainly because the garage is now taken up also by an MG midget, which I didn't plan to buy. So bit of poor planning there by me. I have stripped the donor down. I have videoed that. I do need to do an awful lot of editing to it, because when I watched it back, it was quite boring. So I need to sort that one out. But that's something I want to get on with into the new year. The midget, I've done about 400 or 500 miles in it. Been to quite a lot of local car shows, that kind of thing. It's been fairly good. We've had a few minor issues. brakes need bleeding. It's had the brake lights on it failed, which was quite exciting for the car behind us, and they were quite animated when they told us. But yeah, no, it's been great fun. I'm going to do a video on owning a classic car because I think there's lots of things people could learn from that one. And the Robin Hood that I'm sat on, for those of you who don't know, built this about 23 years ago, 22, 23 years ago. About 15 years ago, I changed the engine from a Pinto engine to a Zetec, and overall it's pretty good at installation. I just had to rush something at the end, so it's hiding a bodge from about 15 years ago, but I've got the parts to fix it, so we might do a little video on that. Other things that have gone on, well, things that went wrong, shall we say. For those who are long-time subscribers, we did a video on Bluebird, the Campbell land speed record one, and how, you know, the battle had been over the years, and that got taken down due to a copyright claim over an image which I'd used as B-roll for about 8 seconds, and then it all got a bit silly. So I will go back and revisit that, because that was a whole heap of work, and particularly the wife has said, you know, she knows how long I spent on it. And the ironic thing is, I've spoken to both parties on that, the museum and to Bluebird Projects, and they both said I've done a good job of it, and they support its re-release. So it all got a bit silly, really. Other things, loads. Disappointment of the year for me was the Blind Man's Car Collection, which I thought people would have a lot more interest in, because obviously someone who can't see, they can only touch, feel and so on, and do it from memory when they had sight. And that one just never really gained traction. So if you want to do something for Christmas, go back and have a look at that one for me, because, you know, Andrew gave up a whole day for us and was really welcoming. And it was just sort of disappointing that it didn't get the traction that it should have done. And I've put Chop Shop under my surprise of the year, which I'm sure Bernie won't be pleased that I've said, but it just took off beyond anything that I expected. And I'm not just talking the views, it was the input by you guys as well. That was spectacular, that you know, you supply so much information. It helped putting together the interview with Charlie, and we found so much more information about the cars. People like Rodders came on board and shared pictures and so on, and we've still got stuff coming in. And then, of course, to top it all off, Bernie got in touch, and we are working at the moment to put those interviews together. So please, if you've got some questions for Bernie from Chop Shop, please do pop them in the comments below. Obviously make them sensible, don't be silly, but you know, Bernie sounds really up for this. I've chatted to him since his original contact, and I think we're going to make this happen, so that will be good. And what are we going to do next year? Well, more of the same, really. Keep looking for cars with interesting stories from TV, film, and just general folklore, really, I suppose. We're going to probably do a little bit of revisiting the Wheeler Dealers. The interest in that seemed to fade away. The views had dropped off. The odd one would do well, but so many of them, they did sort of take a lot of work to put together, which is one of the reasons I decided to drop to 1 car per video, because I was putting 6, 7, 8 hours into each video by the time I'd researched, filmed, edited and so on. And they were only getting a sort of 3,000 or 4,000 views, which in return for effort wasn't ideal, if I'm honest. But maybe we'll revisit that. And then also I want to get on with these projects. That's a big thing. I've had a lot on towards the end of this year, so hopefully now I can have a little bit of breathing space and do those. And that's pretty much it. And I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you don't watch it, it doesn't give me the enthusiasm to do more. So you guys are super important in all of this. So thank you so much for taking the time out of whatever else you could be doing to watch the stuff I put together. I'm still amazed so many people watch some of it, but hey, they do. So, you know, 2024, it's going to be, you know, more of the same, more auctions. I want to do more car shows. I really enjoy doing those, walking around with a microphone, chatting to people. I love doing that stuff. Just not many people actually watch it, but yeah, I enjoy it, which is, you know, what it should really be about. So I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of a recap of the year and a little bit of a behind the scenes of, you know, what we get in the way of data. And, you know, have a great new year and see you in 2024. 2025. Doesn't seem possible I'm saying that, but hey, thanks again.